Most men over 50 experience subtle but progressive changes in their urinary and reproductive health, yet very few talk about it. That's not just a cultural issue, it's a physiological one. The prostate, a small gland that plays a large role in male reproductive function, naturally begins to enlarge with age. But this process, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, is not something we must accept as inevitable or irreversible. It's modifiable, and the truth is, emerging science is revealing a powerful intervention that's been quietly working for centuries. One that isn't commonly discussed in doctors' offices or mainstream wellness conversations. It's not a synthetic pill, it's not a new age superfood hyped by social media. It's a natural fruit, the saw palmetto berry. And its effects on prostate health are grounded in biochemistry, clinical research, and thousands of anecdotal recoveries from men who were once desperate for relief. Let's understand the mechanism first. The prostate enlargement process is driven primarily by the conversion of testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, DHT, through an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. DHT is a potent androgen. While it plays an important role in male development, too much of it in adulthood, especially when left unchecked, leads to abnormal cell growth in the prostate. The result? A compressed urethra, constant urges to urinate, reduced flow, nighttime awakenings, and a silent disruption in a man's confidence, mood, and even sleep quality. Conventional medicine offers drugs that target this same enzymatic pathway. Finasteride and dutasteride are two of the most well-known, but these come with a host of side effects, including sexual dysfunction, depression, and hormonal imbalances. Now here's where nature steps in. The saw palmetto berry contains bioactive compounds, primarily fatty acids and plant sterols, that also inhibit 5-alpha reductase. But instead of overriding the system like pharmaceuticals do, these natural compounds work synergistically with the body's endocrine rhythm. Multiple placebo-controlled studies have shown that 320 milligrams of standardized saw palmetto extract per day can reduce symptoms of BPH, improving urine flow, reducing nighttime urination, and even helping with discomfort or pain. It doesn't suppress testosterone like prescription medications often do, which is a key differentiator. Instead, it appears to support hormonal balance, reduce inflammation, and enhance tissue resilience. There's a fascinating link between the microbiome, chronic inflammation, and prostate health. Diets rich in processed oils, refined sugars, and chemical preservatives drive systemic inflammation, which makes the prostate more reactive to hormonal triggers. On the other hand, when saw palmetto is combined with zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, or pumpkin seed oil, its effects can become even more pronounced. These nutrients work together to reduce oxidative stress, support cellular membrane health, and restore normal immune signaling. But none of this works if the mental piece is neglected. Chronic stress elevates cortisol and disrupts the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, the communication network that governs testosterone production and inflammatory response. When stress is unmanaged, even the most effective supplement can struggle to make a difference. That's why lifestyle factors, sleep, mindfulness, movement, must be considered foundational when addressing any hormonal condition. Because the prostate doesn't just respond to what we eat or supplement, it responds to how we live. So the real question becomes, are we willing to shift the narrative around men's health from passive observation to active prevention? Because the truth no one tells you is this: something as small and overlooked as a wild growing fruit from a modest palm tree might just be one of the most powerful tools for reclaiming vitality, clarity, and confidence in your second half of life. The science is here. The method is simple, but the choice to begin, that's personal. Most men don't pay attention to their prostate until symptoms become impossible to ignore. By then, they're often waking up multiple times at night to urinate, feeling discomfort during urination, or experiencing a decline in sexual performance that chips away at their confidence and vitality. What's most concerning is that many accept this as a normal part of aging, when in reality, it's a signal of deeper hormonal and inflammatory imbalances. At the center of it all is benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, the non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland. This condition affects more than 50% of men over the age of 60 and up to 90% of men by age 85. The prostate, which is typically the size of a walnut, begins to swell and press against the urethra, interfering with urinary flow and bladder function. The root cause is often an excess of dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, a more potent derivative of testosterone. DHT is produced when testosterone is converted by an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. While necessary in small amounts, elevated DHT levels can overstimulate prostate cells, causing them to grow rapidly. Conventional treatments for BPH include alpha-7-Remkers and 5-albumin reductase inhibitors. While these medications can be effective in the short term, they often come with side effects: low libido, erectile dysfunction, dizziness, and fatigue. For many men, these trade-offs are unacceptable, and this is where the story shifts. Because buried within the natural world is a time-tested, clinically studied fruit that offers real results without the harsh drawbacks. The saw palmetto berry, harvested from the Serenoa repens palm, native to the southeastern United States, has been used for generations to support male urinary and reproductive health. It's not folk wisdom, it's science. Backed with a lipophilic extract from these berries, contains specific fatty acids and phytosterols that naturally inhibit the same enzyme targeted by pharmaceuticals, 5-alpha reductase. But instead of shocking the system, saw palmetto works in harmony with it. It gently reduces DHT levels, calming inflammation and allowing the prostate to reduce in size over time. The optimal dose, according to research, is 320 milligrams of standardized extract daily, should be taken with meals to improve absorption, and paired with supportive nutrients like zinc and omega-3 fatty acids. Zinc is especially important because it also plays a role in hormonal balance and immune regulation, while omega-3s combat systemic inflammation, which is a key contributor to prostate swelling. In addition to these nutrients, maintaining a diet high in cruciferous vegetables, berries, and fiber can amplify the benefits. These foods help detoxify excess hormones, reduce oxidative stress, and support a healthier gut microbiome, another often overlooked aspect of prostate health. But there's more to the story than just supplements and diet. Our nervous system plays a huge role in hormonal regulation. When the body is under constant stress, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, cortisol levels rise, sleep quality drops, and testosterone becomes dysregulated. This state of chronic fight or flight creates the perfect storm for inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and prostate dysfunction. That's why any meaningful approach to shrinking the prostate must include stress management strategies like deep breathing, cold exposure, light exercise, and sleep hygiene. Even 10 minutes of sunlight in the morning and turning off screens an hour before bed can have measurable effects on testosterone and cortisol balance. Prostate health isn't just a urological issue, it's a full body, mind-body issue. It reflects the health of your hormones, your immune system, your metabolism, and your stress response. The truth that's often overlooked is that nature already provides many of the solutions we need. Saw palmetto isn't a miracle, but it is a tool, one that works best when combined with consistent lifestyle changes. If you're a man over 50 and you're experiencing symptoms, don't wait for them to get worse. The time to act is now. Your health, your energy, your sleep, and your masculinity are worth protecting naturally, powerfully, and proactively. In today's world, men are often taught to ignore subtle changes in their health until they become serious. But one of the most common and most ignored issues men face as they age is the gradual enlargement of the prostate. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a biological signal that something deeper is happening inside the body. The condition, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, can lead to frequent urination, poor sleep, reduced bladder control, and diminished sexual vitality. While aging is a contributing factor, it is not the sole cause. In truth, the prostate becomes inflamed and enlarged due to a combination of hormonal imbalances, particularly elevated levels of dihydrotestosterone, DHT, and chronic low-grade inflammation, which is often made worse by poor diet, stress, and lack of movement. What most men don't realize is that their current lifestyle may be quietly fueling this process, and unless addressed, it will only intensify with time. But there's good news. Science now confirms that a specific natural remedy, long used in traditional medicine, has measurable biological effects that can help shrink the prostate and restore balance. Saw palmetto, a small berry native to North America, contains a rich blend of fatty acids and plant sterols that directly target the root cause of prostate enlargement. These bioactive compounds inhibit the activity of the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which is responsible for converting testosterone into DHT. When DHT levels are elevated, the prostate begins to grow, squeezing the urethra and interfering with normal urinary function. By suppressing this conversion pathway, saw palmetto naturally lowers DHT and helps reduce the pressure inside the prostate tissue. Unlike pharmaceutical drugs that achieve this by forcibly altering the hormonal system, often leading to unwanted side effects such as decreased libido or erectile dysfunction, saw palmetto supports the body's own regulatory systems without shutting them down. This is key. It's not about overriding the body's biology, but about guiding it gently back into balance. Clinical studies have repeatedly shown that a standardized daily dose of 320 milligrams of saw palmetto extract is both safe and effective for men dealing with BPH. Improvements are typically noted within 4 to 8 weeks, including reduced nighttime urination, better urinary flow, and less discomfort. But the benefits don't stop with the prostate. Because of its anti-inflammatory properties, saw palmetto also supports the immune system and may play a role in balancing other hormones, including cortisol and estradiol, which can become dysregulated in men as they age. However, it's not just the supplement that matters. It's how the entire body functions in synergy. That's why nutrition, sleep, and stress management are vital components of any prostate health strategy. When men combine saw palmetto with a clean diet, quality sleep, and light daily exercise, the benefits multiply. The importance of consistency cannot be overstated. Healing the prostate doesn't happen overnight. It takes daily effort. Habits repeated over time that help regulate hormones, reduce inflammation, and restore natural function. Zinc is another nutrient that plays a crucial role in this process. Found in pumpkin seeds, oysters, and nuts, zinc supports testosterone production and has its own anti-inflammatory effects on the prostate. Pairing zinc-rich foods or supplements with saw palmetto can help create a more effective, holistic approach. Add to that foods like broccoli, kale, berries, and flax seeds, and you're giving your body the phytochemicals and fiber needed to clear out excess estrogen-like compounds and support detoxification. Ultimately, the path to a healthier prostate is not a mystery, it's a choice. It's about tuning in to the body's signals, leveraging what science and nature have already revealed, and taking daily actions that align with long-term vitality. Most importantly, it's about rejecting the narrative that aging means inevitable decline. The truth is, with the right tools and consistent application, men can take control of their prostate health, reclaim their energy, and feel like themselves again. Most men over the age of 50 are silently struggling with a health issue they rarely speak about, an enlarged prostate. It begins suddenly waking up at night to urinate, a weak stream, or the feeling of not fully emptying the bladder. But over time, these symptoms become persistent and disruptive, leading to broken sleep, lower energy, and a decline in quality of life. What's more concerning is that this condition, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, is often dismissed as a normal part of aging. But what if it's not just aging? What if something deeper is happening, a biological imbalance that, if left unchecked, gradually erodes vitality? The truth is, prostate enlargement is largely driven by an excess of a hormone called dihydrotestosterone, DHT, a byproduct of testosterone. As DHT accumulates, it causes the prostate cells to multiply, leading to swelling, inflammation, and pressure on the urethra. And while conventional medications can reduce DHT, they often come at a cost: sexual dysfunction, hormonal suppression, and other unwanted side effects. This is where nature offers an alternative, a powerful, underappreciated fruit that directly addresses the root cause without harming the body's natural systems. The saw palmetto berry, a small fruit native to the southeastern United States, has been used for centuries in traditional medicine. Modern science has now caught up, revealing that this berry contains potent fatty acids and phytosterols that inhibit 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone into DHT. By blocking this enzyme naturally, saw palmetto helps reduce DHT levels without interfering with testosterone itself. This is critical. It means you can support prostate health without sacrificing energy, mood, or libido. Clinical trials have shown that a standardized dose of 320 milliliters per day can lead to significant improvements in urinary symptoms, flow rate, and bladder emptying without the side effects commonly seen with drugs. But saw palmetto doesn't work in isolation. The human body is a complex system, and every part of it, from hormones to the immune system, is interconnected. Chronic inflammation, for example, is another key contributor to prostate enlargement. Diets high in sugar, refined oils, and processed food increase systemic inflammation, which worsens prostate swelling. This is why combining saw palmetto with anti-amino nutrients like zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin E can amplify its effects. Zinc, in particular, plays a central role in male reproductive health. It regulates testosterone production and reduces oxidative stress in the prostate. When paired with saw palmetto, zinc strengthens the gland's natural defenses and supports long-term healing. Foods rich in zinc, such as pumpkin seeds, cashews, and lentils, should be a regular part of any prostate-supporting diet. Beyond nutrition, there's another factor that's often overlooked: stress. Chronic stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that interferes with testosterone and promotes inflammation. When cortisol is elevated over long periods, it disturbs the delicate hormonal balance required for a healthy prostate. That's why managing stress isn't just about feeling better emotionally, it's a biological necessity. Simple practices like daily walking, breath work, getting early morning sunlight, and consistent sleep schedules can significantly reduce cortisol levels and restore endocrine harmony. Sleep is particularly vital. During deep sleep, the body repairs tissue, regulates hormone levels, and lowers systemic inflammation. Men who prioritize sleep consistently report better urinary health and energy levels, further supporting the healing process initiated by Saul Palmetto. And proper nutrition. All of these factors, hormonal balance, inflammation, nutrition, and stress, come together to form a complete picture of prostate health. And it's time to stop viewing it as something out of our control. The prostate doesn't swell overnight, it changes slowly based on years of choices and environmental inputs. But this also means we can influence it through daily habits, natural support, and a conscious shift in how we care for the male body. Saw palmetto may be a single fruit, but when used with intention and supported by lifestyle change, it becomes a powerful tool to reverse years of silent suffering. For many men, the journey into their 50s and beyond comes with subtle but disruptive changes in health. Frequent urination, reduced urinary flow, interrupted sleep, and a quiet but growing discomfort that becomes difficult to ignore. These aren't random occurrences. They're signs of a common condition called benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, or enlarged prostate. It's a condition that affects more than half of men over 60 and becomes nearly universal by age 85. Yet, it remains one of the least discussed aspects of male health. Part of the problem lies in how prostate issues are normalized. The symptoms are often brushed off as an inevitable part of aging, but what many don't realize is that these changes are not just age, they're biochemical. The primary culprit behind prostate growth is a powerful hormone called dihydrotestosterone, DHT. A derivative of testosterone. As DHT accumulates in the body, it overstimulates the prostate cells, causing the gland to swell. This slow, persistent growth exerts pressure on the urethra and bladder, disrupting urinary flow and lowering overall quality of life. Pharmaceutical solutions for BPH exist, and they often work by targeting the very same mechanism, blocking the enzyme 5-alpha reductase that converts testosterone into DHT. However, many men who turn to medications like finasteride or dutasteride experience side effects that impact their sexual health, mood, and overall hormonal balance. This is where natural compounds provide a gentler, more holistic approach. The Saw palmetto berry stands out as one of the most thoroughly researched and effective botanical remedies for BPH. Rich in liposterolic compounds, especially fatty acids and phytosterols, Saw palmetto works by inhibiting the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, thereby reducing DHT levels in a natural way. Unlike synthetic drugs, it does this without completely shutting down hormone production or causing dramatic hormonal shifts. Instead, it modulates the pathway, easing the pressure on the prostate while preserving overall male vitality. Clinical evidence supports its use. Studies have shown that taking 320 milligrams of standardized saw palmetto extract daily can reduce urinary frequency, improve flow rate, and decrease the sensation of incomplete emptying. These improvements don't come from guesswork, they stem from biochemical changes at the cellular level. Inflammation, another key factor in prostate enlargement, is also reduced due to the anti-inflammatory nature of saw palmetto's active compound. However, supplementation alone is rarely the full solution. The human body operates as an integrated system, and true healing requires that we address the other pillars of wellness: diet, inflammation, stress, and sleep. One of the most powerful ways to enhance the effects of saw palmetto is to pair it with other nutrients that target inflammation and hormonal health. Zinc, for example, is essential for testosterone regulation and immune function. Men with low zinc levels are more prone to prostate issues and hormonal imbalance. Foods like pumpkin seeds, shellfish, and legumes provide natural sources of zinc that can complement saw palmetto's effects. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts reduce systemic inflammation and support cellular function. Together, these nutrients create an internal environment that's less reactive, more balanced, and better equipped to regulate glandular tissue growth. But even with the right nutrients and supplements, progress is limited without stress management. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, disrupts hormonal signaling, and contributes to inflammatory damage throughout the body, including the prostate. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, light aerobic exercise, and spending time in nature have been shown to lower cortisol levels and support testosterone production. When cortisol is kept in check, the endocrine system functions more smoothly and healing becomes more sustainable. Finally, sleep cannot be overlooked. Quality sleep allows the body to repair tissue, regulate hormones, and reduce inflammation. Men who get less than 6 hours of sleep per night often report worsened BPH symptoms, while those who prioritize consistent restorative sleep patterns see measurable improvements. Each of these elements, salt palmetto, nutrition, stress control, and sleep, work together to restore balance. The process isn't instant, but it's real. The path to prostate health doesn't come from a single fix. It's a commitment to understand the body's signals and responding with care, science, and consistency.